Good morning, everybody. Actually, I agree with Professor Narendra Mohanji, chief guest of today's function, that I would have spoken first. However, as per protocol, I think chief guest has to speak first. So I'm sorry for that. But I start my presentation with one say, or one of the quote, I think. Albert Einstein has once said that, like, if the idea doesn't look insane, there is no hope.
And there's
In maybe 2004, 2006, I had given some idea of sulfur-free sugar. At that time, many of these sugar technologies thought that it is insane. And after 18, 20 years, we are presenting or having house full of presentation on various alternatives of making sulfur-free sugar. So this is again a big leap to our presentations or the technologies as such. Now there are certain agronomists who say that sulfur is essential. Yes, sulfur is essential for our life. I don't want to blame sulfur singularly. Like say Professor Narendra Mohanji say, sugar is always blamed for the ill effect of health. It's not so. Sugar is a powerhouse. Sugar is a power. Similarly, sulfur, we are now trying to blame sulfur, but we have to take the other side of the sulfur also. That out of 20 amino acids, 4 amino acids do have sulfur, of which 2 amino acids make proteins. Without those proteins, our body is not possible. So I'll just give on this thing. Yes, it is fourth major element. For many vitamins has sulfur. So B1, biotin, all these things. I've listed all these things. I would like to specially make the importance of coenzyme A. Coenzyme A is an essential part of our respiratory system. So if coenzyme A is not there, we will not be able to breathe properly. Now, sulfur deficiency, every plant agronomists know that it causes yellowing of the leaf, shortening of the internode. It is not good for sugarcane production also.
that's how it goes.
I think most of the worries have been covered by Professor Narendra Mohanji. Sulfur dioxide is toxic. Sulfur is toxic.
So,
But again, the toxicity of the sulfur is well known. Many of the pesticides, insecticides who are not environmental friendly, or rather they are culprits for making environment bad, do have sulfur in it.
caution use.
We have taken only sulfur dioxide. See, what we are doing this sulfatation process, double sulfatation process. It gives residues to the downstream effect also. Now the sulfates are present in press mud, they are present in all the molasses or even syrup which is being diverted to ethanol formation. This sulfur dioxide is definitely toxic to yeast. There is a tremendous amount of decrease in ethanol production because of volatile acid in combination with sulfur dioxide. If you want to have a maximum ethanol production, it is advisable not to have sulfur dioxide or any sulfate for that matter. Now, again, other downstream effect of that, spent wash and press mud are being used for CBG production. Methanogenic bacteria and sulfate reducing bacteria are all both anaerobic, and sulfate reducing bacteria being more faster and more stronger, stubborn, they competitively inhibit methanogens and you get H2S in your gas. Now this H2S gas is extremely troublesome in CBG or even in other way also. What happens means, in fact, I got this opportunity to go for sulfur-free sugar production in natural sugar just because of CBG problems. So all these aspects, of course, this presentation is not technical. All these aspects will be covered by Mr. Shantanu Kulkarni while developing various options. We will have options depending upon the plant capacity, depending on the process try to adopt, and situation or government legislation also. So, as per Professor Narendra Mohan says, you have to have a very flexible process as such. See, these are the guidelines for ethanol to be used as a fuel. You will find everything that sulfur is a big problem. Acidity is also another problem. Aldehyde content is also a problem. Total sulfur compound not less than 0.001. Looking at these problems using sulfur in sugar processing, it is essential to adopt a process which is not using sulfur. Now, raw and refined sugar, everybody knows about it. However, this point has already been stressed. How much benefit we get from producing a good quality sulfur-free sugar or refined sugar is quite questionable. And marketing plays a lot of role. If you look at the 100 years data, that raw and refined sugar has got $100 price difference per ton. That roughly around 7 to 8 rupees per kg. But in practice, in India at least, in realization is not so. Many people do manufacture sugar, but they don't get 10 rupee or 8 rupee benefit what is been there in international market. Again, it is an entire ballgame, as Professor Energy said, that it is from end user and a manufacturer. They have to have a collaboration. Unless and until that, you will not be able to get the monetary benefits of it. Then we have left with the options of another processes where there is not much increase in the cost and still better quality plantation white sugar or better quality white sugar in the market. You can get 1 rupee or 2 rupees per kg more benefit, financial benefits. So this becomes a much more viable option in practice. So we have 5 more presentation after me. First thing is from Dr. Panda, who will be talking about social importance about reducing sulfur or not using sulfur. Then Mr. U.D. Divekar, Managing Director of Natural Sugar, will be discussing about the difficulties we faced during the production of refined sugar in his plant. Then there will be definition of DIFTEC will have presentation with their views or their process need requirement in various sugar factories. Then Suveron Equipment Private Limited will be discussing their views about making refined sugar in MRN, one of the MRN sugar factory. And lastly, Credo Impex will give their various options what I am talking about. Based on the needs of the factory, how can we make the process flexible? Thank you.
So